HLS Show Me How, Live Events Monitoring. Hi, I'm your host, Michael Giannotti, and I'm a Microsoft Teams technology specialist working in Microsoft's Healthcare and Life Sciences group. You can always find my colleagues and I over at our blog at aka.ms/HLS-blog. That's aka.ms/HLS-blog. So for today's short session, I had one of our customer satisfaction managers ping me today asking about live events and monitoring them. The question was around, if we set up an event in Stream, this came from a customer, if we set up an event in Stream for a Stream live event, where do we monitor that? If we set it up in Teams, where do we monitor that and see those? And then finally, if we set it up in Yammer, is there a third place? So I'm going to walk you through real quick. We're going to just open up the Office 365 instance I have set up. Sorry, I was having a brain cramp at the end of a long week. But we're going to go ahead and open that up, take a look, and I'm just going to walk you through what it looks like and where you can see those various events and how you can monitor them. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so what we've done, I've come here into Microsoft Stream, and you can see this is in my demo instance. It's actually calling me Dr. Mike. Trust me, you don't want me to be your physician. Having said that, whenever we set up a Stream live event, we come in here and click Create, it will show up if we come over here. See the little gear that's right here? Well, what that does for me, because I am a Stream admin, when I select it, I not only get my settings, I get this additional option for admin settings. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And that's going to bring me over to the Stream console. And under here, you will notice they have live events. And if I click on that, there are two tabs in this. Number one is Live Now. And it says, not much to see here because there's nothing running live. But upcoming is going to display all the upcoming ones. And you can see I've walked through the setup a bunch of times for different demos. So they're all showing. But this is one, or actually, yeah, this is one right here that I actually just did. And there's two of them that I actually set up. One is a test of Yammer Live Events using Teams. And this is kind of interesting. Also, I have, and I'll tell you why in a moment, the other is test of Yammer Live Events using an external encoder. So these are two different ones that I set up today. These other ones were all done right within Teams except for this Yammer Live Event demo. And that is one where I set it up and was using an external encoder. But notice these two options here. Test of Yammer Live using Teams and of using an external encoder. So what you'll see here is that when I actually set up in Yammer a live event, let's just go ahead and come on over here. You can see I've set up two events and I set them each up a different way. One of them I used an external encoder, and you can see that title is reflected back here, right there. There's that one. The other one, however, I set up using Microsoft Teams. So that's also showing here, test of Yammer Live Events using Teams, but it's also showing in another area where these other views don't. And that is in the Teams admin console itself. So before we go there, I'm going to select Microsoft Teams, and you can see here I set up a native live event. I came in here and said live event, and I put this live event demo right here. And if I want to see where that is, you'll notice it doesn't show here, right? That's not here. Live event demo is not. Yammer Live, but that's an older one, and that's not the one I set up. This one, in fact, does not show there, and that's because ones that we set up in Microsoft Teams, if we go to our Teams Admin Center, we can come here, and then we can come on down to Analytics and Reports, this usage report. And you can see here I ran this today. This is the Teams live events usage, and I ran a report, right? And when you do, it's going to give you a display up here, and then it's going to show you the events you've set up. So there is that live event demo that I set up native in Teams. But notice for Yammer, it gave me the one that I set up using Teams as the encoder. It's showing up both here and in the Teams. So just as an FYI, when we're looking at these events, right? If we're doing it native in Stream, it's always going to get put into Stream and this view right over here. If we do it native in Teams, it'll always show only here. But when we set them up in Yammer, if we use the Teams encoder and not an external, it will actually show in both. But that's the two places you need to be able to look. So for Stream, again, under Admin Settings, we go to Live Events. Then from there, we take the tab for either Live Now or Upcoming. For Teams, we go here into the Teams Admin Center, Analytics and Reports, Usage Reports, and we do have a drop down for live events, and then we can say, you know, what date range or search by organizer. Both are permissible, and then we run a report. And in the case of when we set them up in Yammer, if it's a external encoder, it will show in Streams view, and if it is a live event using Teams, it'll show both in Stream as well as in Teams. I hope we didn't confuse you, but that's where you're going to see all those different views. So that's it. Two places to go to look at Stream live, live events for Microsoft 365 live events. Again, if you're making it native in Stream, you'll find it in the Stream admin view. If you're making it in Teams, it will be in the Teams admin view. And if you create it in Yammer, it depends which encoder you use. If you use external encoder, you'll find it in Stream only. If you use Teams as your encoder, you'll find it in both Teams and Stream. I hope you found that useful. I hope that helps you to take a look at where you want to monitor things. If you have additional questions, feel free to post them on the post. I'll have some links in our post to some of the information around administration. In the meantime, you can always find me, as well as my colleagues, again, on our blog at aka.ms/HLSblog. That's aka.ms/HLSblog. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/Mike Giannotti. You can connect with me on Twitter at twitter.com/Giannotti. And finally, I do have a Facebook page that you can check out at facebook.com/mgiannotti. With that, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. Take care, and as always, ciao.